I'd like to start with Rohen. Since you have a very age-old, you are living actually in an age-old tradition of about 200 years of Banaras Gharana yourself, and you are from a family of legends, as I said. At first, I guess me and also our audiences would like to know about your background and growing up. I guess you can.
Well, firstly, good evening, everybody, and it's really wonderful to see all of you on a weekday evening turning up and to listening to me talk and not play, which is absolutely fantastic. And I can see familiar faces which are great. I wouldn't name because then the whole evening I would be naming people. Well, I would not get into a lot of data because it will get boring, but I'll tell you why it was very interesting to me, or it would be very interesting to any person who gets introduced to this gharana. Banaras Gharana is the youngest gharana. There are 6 gharanas in tabla. I'll actually say how it was invented. Delhi, Lucknow, then Farrukhabad, Ajrada. Actually, Delhi, Ajrada, Lucknow, Farrukhabad. Punjab was a different story, and then at last, Banaras. The person who made the Banaras Gharana was actually a student of Lucknow Gharana, Pandit Ram Sahaji. He went to Lucknow, learned from Ustad Modu Khasa, and this is a myth, and that's why I don't want to get into the story, but there was some controversy for which he had to come back to Banaras, and he had all that knowledge. He played in Lucknow for 7 days and 7 nights, and he was presented with all accolades, but there was some problem and he had to come back. And therefore, he came back and he made this gharana, which was very elementary at that point of time. There was a lot of influence of Pakhawaj and Lucknow in Banaras, because these are the 2 things that he was mostly influenced of. So he started this gharana. There was this bold style of playing in Banaras because of the influence of the Pakhawaj, and there was a lot of drama in it because of Lucknow. Lucknow gharana has its roots in dance, and therefore there's a lot of drama in Lucknow, and that drama comes into Banaras. Now later there were lots of maestros. A great thing about Banaras is there's a lot of diversity in it. Now I don't really think you can say that there were people actually working behind it. We'll make this the most diverse gharana. This doesn't happen that way, but it happened. In one generation, there were 3 people playing the same gharana with totally different dimensions. So therefore, it became very diverse. And the best part, which was very fortunate about Banaras Gharana, as it was the youngest gharana, it was actually exposed, or it had seen a lot of scope in tabla, because a lot of experiment was already done in like as far as tabla is concerned in other gharanas. So it was quite natural that these people from Banaras got that scope of experimenting. I'll tell you my journey with it. I used to write poetry, forms of rap in structures of traditional Indian music tals. So maybe in kahadba, in dadra, in tintal, such things, but raps. And I used to write them for my father's orchestras, something like I'll demonstrate one if I really remember. So the orchestra we traveled through West Bengal, and the first half had this orchestra, and the second half had my father and Pandit Vikram Ghosh play, and we traveled all over Bengal. So he wanted a pure rap, but with a Bengali touch. So there was a groove set, because it was placed in between the orchestral composition. So it was like dik dinna, padinna dik dinna, dik dinna, padinna dik dinna, dik dinna, padinna dik dinna, dik dinna, padinna dik dinna. হৃদয় দুয়ার আজি দিয়েছি যে খুলে, হৃদয় দুয়ার আজি দিয়েছি যে খুলে, যত ব্যথা জ্বালা আজ গিয়েছি যে ভুলে। হৃদয় দুয়ার আজি দিয়েছি যে খুলে, যত ব্যথা জ্বালা আজ গিয়েছি যে ভুলে। বুঝেছি জীবনে, বুঝেছি জীবনে যদি সুখ আসে কিছু, যত ব্যথা জ্বালা তারা আসে পিছু পিছু। তাই 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 নিরাশার চোখ বুঝে দাও আর আশার বার্তা খুঁজে পাও। তাই নিরাশার চোখ বুঝে দাও আর আশার বার্তা খুঁজে পাও। নিরাশার চোখ বুঝে আশার বার্তা খুঁজে, নিরাশার চোখ বুঝে আশার বার্তা খুঁজে, ভূত ভগবান বলে নিশার স্বপ্নে বাস্তব খুঁজে পাও। দেনা থেকে দেনা, দেনা থেকে দেনা থেকে দেনা। So this was kind of the rap that I was writing in school for these orchestral stuff. And then one day something happened very strange, but it happens in everybody's life. There was somebody who didn't understand Bengali a lot, and I used to write. I started writing bilingual for her. You know, people push themselves, so I started writing bilingual, and the great part of bilingual poetry is if both the languages are in correct proportion, then even if you know one language, you'll understand the other one in contextual relationship. Yeah, I didn't think so much while writing this because somebody was there in my mind at that point. So I just wrote. And I wrote some things like, চাইছি জান্নাত, চাইছি জান্নাত, প্রশ্ন হিম্মত। চাইছি জান্নাত, প্রশ্ন হিম্মত, কিন্তু জাগছে সিদ্ধাত প্রাণে। লালচে আসমান, ছুটছে জগজান, সেই মহব্বত। So I started writing such stuff. There were a couple of them, but later this format stayed with me. She didn't stay, the format stayed. So when the format stayed, I started experimenting with tabla bowls instead of Hindi or any other language. So now there was one structured language, Bengali, and another unstructured language. Now this is a common theory with structured and unstructured. Yeah, Saussure and Chomsky and whatever. Yeah. So I started writing, and I was traveling from Kushal Kaku's house, Pandit Kushal Das's house, to my house. He stays in Mastarda, which is a long way from Shambazar, and I was coming, and it was a long ride. I was writing for my uncle. It was his birthday tomorrow, the day after, sorry, and I had obviously nothing to gift him because I didn't have money. Musicians never have money. So yeah. So I wrote this one. Is there anybody whose birthday we've just crossed in a week's time, or it's coming? Huh? Coming? Then yeah, okay. Oh, happy birthday in advance, and this is for you then. So I wrote. This is a bit tabla player-ish because I was writing for my uncle, but it's very relevant for every one of us. So I wrote, কত দিন দিন, কত রাত রাত, কেটে যায় কত কত শত প্রভাত, কিছু ধিক ধিনা, সাথে পাওয়া ব্যথা, আর তেহাইয়ের খোঁজে মোকাম সাধা. মোকাম is the place from where the তেহাই starts. তো কিছু ধিক ধিনার সাথে পাওয়া ব্যথা আর তিহাইয়ের খোঁজে মোকাম সাধা, আসে ফিরে ফিরে কাটা ধীরে ধীরে, সেই দিন ঘেনা দিন বলা হোক সেই চেনা বল, প্রাণ ধীরে কাটা দিন শুভ জন্মদিন. Now this is it. চিন্তা তো দিন দিন না দিন দিন দানা দিন দিন না কাটা দিন দিন না ধা দিন দিন না দিন দিন না না দিন দিন না থেকে দিন কত দিন দিন কত রাত রাত কেটে যায় কত কত শত প্রভাত কিছু ধীরে ধীরে না সাথে খাওয়া ব্যথা তেহাইয়ে খুঁজিব কারণ সাথে আসে ফিরে ফিরে কাটা ধীরে ধীরে সেই দিন কেনাটি বলা হোক সেই চেনাবো প্রাণ ধীরে কাটা দিন শুভ জন্ম ধীরে কাটা দিন শুভ জন্মদিন ধীরে কাটা দিন শুভ জন্মদিন না. So this was kind of poetry I finally landed up to. A friend of mine in a GN course of SCTR where I met you, there was a guy from Delhi University. He was very overwhelmed with this. So he said, you should write more of these things. It's very new and original. I didn't know this is not original. People have written such things before also. But maybe it's a contemporary version of it because there were more traditional jargon in them. He said, why not you do a speech on this in our university? So this is where it becomes really serious. Okay, so I was like, okay, no, speech and all, I was just impressing people with this. So I started studying all the poetries of our Gharana. And then I realized that it's such a great thing, because as far as poetry and rhythm is concerned, it has always been there. Shakespeare has written wonderful poetry in Indian talas. Actually, there have been Anagha Jhaptal, if you analyze in that way, which they call some pentameter possibly. And there's also trochaic tetrameter, which is very similar to Tintal. And then I came to Hindi poets, Bengali poets. They are absolutely marvelous works. The only thing that Banaras people did is they just put some tabla bowls into it. And it became very Banaras kind of a thing. And I believe someday, I really wish, I also have a plot, but I really wish I can land up writing a play this way, in this particular language. So this is how I relate to poetry and rhythm. Otherwise, I think Bihu has a better explanation to rhythm and life. We will get to that when he comes.
That's fantastic. And as we were discussing about tradition and contemporary and everything, I think there is also something called living in the cultural contradiction.
Yeah.
We are living in a time where it is a buffer zone. It's like a buffer zone. We are neither in future nor in the past, where it's somewhere in between. We are living in the cultural contradiction. What do you think, or what are your thoughts?
Bihu is a very good example of that. So yeah, coming back to your question, we spoke about it, and we live in a certain cultural contradiction. But it's great because we have possibly grown to that extent that we can actually handle that cultural contest that we always live in. Otherwise, it's possibly a wonderful thing because this happened because there is so much of information, sometimes more than required. But because of globalization, because of social media, internet, there's so much of information. You can sit here and possibly you can do electronic music because of internet and other things. You can do great music, and it's a great thing, isn't it? So why question it?
So I think it's the best time to call our second speaker for the evening.
Let's see what he thinks
I'd like to invite
Bihu.
Bihu Mukherjee, everyone. So I think we are at a point where there should be a conversation between both of you. Since
But I will introduce Bihu in my way.
Certainly, please.
Yeah. Bihu is quite younger to me, by the way, but he's a wiser guy. He knows a lot of things, even apart from music. He knows a lot of things. He's into a lot of reading. He's enlightened me with things that I didn't know of several other things: spirituality, lifestyle, world music, and I've learned a lot of things from him. So I have certain questions to ask him. I possibly thought that we could make some music today, but it's a bit of problems. But we still will make something out of nothing. But firstly, I would ask you that how is it to live with this cultural contradiction, and how have you handled it?
Okay, so first of all, good evening to everybody, and Rohen is a wonderful speaker, and so he is good looking, and I'm not that well versed in English, so I don't know how much I can entertain you with my words. So, cultural contradiction, fine. So, first I have to start with my beginning, like when I started playing and when I started learning. So I don't know when I started playing because I really don't remember. I remember, yes, there's an incident when I was 3 years old. I was playing. My house is basically near Oxford Park. So, I'm a proper South Calcutta guy. So I remember till now it was puja time in Oxford Park and I was playing harp. So somebody took me. I don't remember who, and that harp was like above my above my zone where I can see it. So he put me on a chair and I was and my first payment was a handful of chocolates, what I remember. So I started playing then. And it was all instincts, right? No formal training till the age of 4, 5. Then my father was, my father was trained in Banaras Tabla, yeah. Hello. Yeah. So he started, teaching me Khol, Khomok, Dhol, Dhak, because we are from Bihu. We are the third generation from Bihu. So we have a lot of folkloric music there, and I learned from them. And it's better that I did not learn classical music because what I still do is a folkloric music. So it helped me when I was, learning all those rhythms, because they do not give you like, they have syntax like tete kete, dhina, dha. They used to teach me like Duma dum ucche bottle na duma dum ucche bottle na duma dum ucche, and I was like, what is ucche bottle, man? Fine, so I learned it like that. So yes, first I learned dhol, the Bangla dhol from them, and it was not from very well-renowned player because they were all they're mainly farmers. So they used to teach me like that. So like Kashi, they used to teach me koi mama, and I used to tang, I used to learn like that. And when I grew up, when I was in class 3, 4, I still remember my father had a band known as Q9. It was a Bangla band, Bangla rock band, and that time Bangla bands are like, you were like always, yes, Bangla bands, I want to be a drummer of a Bangla band. So I was always on TV, and my first drum teacher is Jishu Sengupta, the actor. Yes, he used to be the drummer for Q9. So I used to go to his place, and I used to like, of course, I was a kid, and I was playing all the songs, and he was just standing there, fine, you can play, and I was playing. So, but no formal training till then in Western music. I was learning bits from my father, how to count 16 notes, how to say tal, it was all instincts I was playing. And in my house, my father's friends were very, very popular musicians like Shrikant Acharya, Bihu Bose, So, Bhuma uncle, Shrikant uncle, they were, hanging out with my father in the drawing room, music. So I was the, in Bengali we say, Theka Dewar Janne. I was giving thekas and they were, singing, and I was giving thekas for 3 or 4 hours on tabla. Then when I was in class 6, class 5, I remember, I wanted to learn drums. So my father took me to Nandan Bagchi, a very renowned drummer. He used to play in sampler cells. Now I don't know if he's still playing or not because he's maybe a little sick now. May I get well soon. So he took me to him, and he was not in town for 3 months. I don't know. I know that's luck or not. So then my father took me to Kochuda, Monojit Datta, who is also brother of Maestro Amit Datta, the guitarist. He took me to him to teach me drums, and I want to learn drums, not percussion. So I started with drums. Now, I was playing with songs, whatever they were on radios, Akon, and all those rubbish bullshit, what I feel now, they are rubbish. Fine, please to them, please. Of course, it's strict advisory from a Western professional musician, right? So, I was though, but fine, it helped me in my growing years. I played with these musicians, hearing the radio. Then, when I was in class 7, I first touched the congas. And when you're playing an instrument with drumsticks, it's still, you're not feeling it, you're not touching it. But when you touch something, it was skin afterward. So I felt it like, man, I want to play this instrument. So I started playing. Unknown of like what I have to practice, how do I have to practice, what it takes to be a different, to learn a folkloric instrument. So I was like, sir, I want to learn now my conga shikhan. So I was like, fine, we can learn congas. And later I understood that was his aim, to take me out from drums and make me a congero. So I started playing congas and bongos. And then I used to be the roadie for my teacher. I used to carry all his luggages to his gigs, and it was out of love and respect. I used to say, sir, I want to carry your stuff. I love doing that. I want to go with you. I want to learn. I remember it was the Park Street Festival, which was going on in Allen Park, and I was his roadie. And police was beating up everybody because there was a lockdown, and I was also beaten up. So I was telling, sir, I have to be in the green room, otherwise the police is beating me. I said, no, please be in the green room. So I was watching them from the green room. It was a wonderful view. Amit on guitar, sir on bongos. Yeah, man, that's life. And then he came down from the stage. I don't know how. He said, Bihu, tomorrow there is a gig at someplace else. And there was a French bongo player, Emmanuel, who was playing then. And I don't have a replacement for Emmanuel, so you are playing tomorrow. And I was like, sir, I have just learned the matilo. Now matilo is the first tal what you learn on bongos. And I'm sir, I just learned the matilos. How can you just let me? And he said, Bihu, in Cuba, kids of 4 years, 5 years, they are not taught formally, and then they're told, yes, so now you can perform. They're just standing there, they'll just give you the class and you just play out of your instinct. Out of it, just based on your proper instinct, because that's what folkloric music is. You have to do that. And I was like, okay, fine. And great musicians were playing that time at someplace else. So, and I was maybe the first teenager below 18 to get a license to enter someplace else, because you don't get, at that time the drinking age was 18. So, 18. Now it's maybe 21, I don't know. Yeah, they increased it. So, I was being told that you have to get in from the kitchen. So, I was getting in from the kitchen, right? But that was nice, very, very nice experience for me. For the first night, I just smiled, because I thought that's it's escape. You can just smile. You can do this. Nobody will know what you are playing. Or, if you're not playing also, you can just move your hands. That will also do for the first night. Fine. Then I took 1 week, so the next week again, my Orient Express was playing. That was the band. So by 1 week, I started cumbia, Puerto Rican music, Cuban, salsa, and when I started them, I was like, oh man. It's like you cannot count it, because there are minimum of 3,000 to 4,000 genres in Latin America, and then subgenres like maybe 10,000. So it will take a lifetime. And being a Latin musician, you have to study not only one instrument like the congas. You have to study all the instruments like bongo, congas, timbale, guiro, maracas, guira, shekere. Cajon is a different thing. Cajon comes from Peru and it has its own traditions. So you can also not learn cajon, and you can, Yeah, but you should learn Pahong in that context. So you should learn Pahong. So you have to learn like 9 to 10 instruments individually, giving them time, and then the genres. So maybe for Son music, the bongo is different. For Son Montuno, the bongo is different. For Puerto Rican salsa, the bongo is different. For cumbia, the bongo is different. Mambo, different. You know, there are a lot of genres. Mambo, Waracha, Warapachanguero, Wahira, Cha-Cha-Cha. And then I started learning how to speak like them. Like not to speak English like this, I have to speak like them, you know, just to imitate maybe. And I was just imitating. But that's a very, that's a very useful thing if you start imitating. So whenever I used to make Latin percussion, I was like, hey, oye, hombre, how are you? And he was like, you're Latin percussionist? Yeah, I'm Latin percussionist. But I was just speaking English. Just trying to, having the accent. So it can help me. So yes, and then, books and studies and studies and studies. And then I also felt one thing very important, that the weather. You go to Latin America, it's sweaty out there. Very tropical, it's hot, humid. People are suffering from the same problems what we are having, poverty and slums. And also we have this para culture, so they also have this community thing going on. So I felt that maybe this is very similar. It's similar, or rather the same, because hot and humid. You see Latin America, it's like conical.
And mid-noon siesta.
And mid-noon siesta, yes. Right. So you have seas on both ends, like Latin America, conic kept equatorial regions, tropical climate, dense vegetation, and then also having this European, the white mixing with the black. Sorry, I don't want to call them the black, but yes, of course, the Africans. So the boiling point, just like India, is a boiling point. Just like India, it's a boiling point. But then, it's a boiling point. Many cultures coming in from Africa, from Spain. Brazil still the official language is Portuguese. Because Portuguese people, they invaded, colonized. The Spanish, they came in. So in Cuba and Jamaica, you will find Spanish-speaking people. And you have Native Americans, the Red Indians. So just like India, just very, very much like India. And I was like later on, maybe this is my subject because I can have the right weather, the right, maybe the right atmosphere to play the music. So that's why I selected Latin music, and I feel this is a great thing. Hello? I just want to chip in just right here. There are some, being a novice, I guess, there are some similarities between Latin jazz and Hindustani classical music. That's improvisation, I guess. If both of you can speak on how improvisation works on stage in both of your realms of music.
Firstly, I would like to know one thing that he told me. He probably didn't let me sleep one night. It's the theory of time and rhythm that we live in. So just enlighten them with that theory. It's facts, huh? It's not nothing but facts.
It's fun. Now, do you know how many breaths do you take in 1 minute? My students will know. So please do not answer. No, ma'am, it's 15 breaths. It's the heartbeat, 72. It's normally 15. Now, when you're hyper, like I am now, so it's will be 17. Yes, that's my nature, innate nature maybe. And when you are not very excited, maybe you're in a state of sadhana, you'll be taking 12. So that's why people can, the enlightened people, they can see things very slow. Passing by because the breaths are very slow now. So normally 15. So 15 into 60, it's 900. You can use your calculators. And then 900 into 24 hours, that's 21,600 breaths per day. Fine. Now there are three, the world is a circular strip, it's a sphere, and it's 360 degrees, right?
on the equator. If you divide them up by minutes, we did maths on this, like geography. We studied geography, minutes and seconds. I was a very bad student all my life till I joined Rohen Bose, and the same thing happened with me. I topped on the first year. So in school I was studying geography.
There must be something wrong in Rohen Bose.
Yes, that's the thing.
All bad students go there and become great people.
Yes. So 60 minutes into 360 is 21,600 minutes, and 1 minute is equal to 1 nautical mile. Nautical mile is the actual length of the mile. Now we, to calculate it with the kilometer, to have a parity, we don't take an actual length, but nautical mile is still being used by the navigators in the sea. So it's nautical miles. So 21,600 nautical miles the world rotates, and you take 21,600 breaths. You don't know it, but you are in rhythm. You can't help it. Just like 72, man. If you divide 72, the highest common factor, HCF, Goshadu, it will come to 8 and 9. So 8 is the even number. That's why we normally count it 8 or 4. The normal rhythm in us is 8 or 4. That's the basic concept. Abang tak burung pakai kung kung.
Dekat.
Terang gang kerang gusang kung.
Dekat dati taka.
Pakai tingkah kung paking.
Tapi nanti tetar, nanti bikin nanti dah.
Paking seperti
Nanti tetar, nanti
pakai tikung ke pakai
nanti
jadi pakai serat kungki kung Kikat gung, kikat pagi gung, kemudian ting pakai kung, kemudian tek pakai tang, seperti tung, teman itu pakai sekat tung, bung, kemudian
Thank you.